And it indeed struck the right note in the run-up to the conversations we are going to have with the athletes who have also featured in here. And viewers, we will be speaking to our champions, but what goes behind the champion? It is a story of talent identification, what really goes behind the identifying of the talent, taking the talent to global podiums, global platform, building a winning sports nation, what is required behind it, the long-term vision, the policies, the opportunities, because talent, of course, India is brimming with talent for decades, but who gives the direction? That is a conversation we are going to have next. It's about the systemic investment and governance, long-term vision. And the conversation is going to explore how leadership, how policy frameworks, and institutional ambition can collectively shape India's sporting destiny. And for that, we have Mr. Ashok Kumar, retired IPS. He's the Vice Chancellor, Sports University of Haryana. And we all know Haryana is the powerhouse of our Olympians. And I welcome him on the stage. And he'll be in conversation with my colleague, Pranav Kulkarni, on building a winning sports nation. Big round of applause, please.
Mr. Kumar, thank you very much for being here with us today. Before we look at the long journey and the contribution that you're currently, working towards in making India a successful sports ecosystem, I was going through your profile and I saw that you yourself are an IITian. IIT is not just any other engineering degree. I mean, you are a brilliant student who became an engineer from one of the most premier institutes of this country, and then chose to become a civil services, a civil servant. How did that transition happen, sir?
See, I belong to a small village of district Panipat in Haryana, and I could make it to IIT because I was good at maths. Good at maths also means good at physics. So I could get selected into IIT without any coaching support. When I was passing out my IIT in '86, that was the time most of my batchmates were going to, foreign countries, mostly to USA, for higher studies as well as for job. At least 50% of my batch people are still settled in USA. But I had no dreams of going out of the country. I wanted to serve the country. And then I realized during my training, which I did with Usha fans, Kolkata, that probably engineering is not my cup of tea. And I wanted to serve the society. I want to take, first-hand experience, direct impact. And so I chose to appear for civil services and finally made it to IPS.
Okay, and how did the transition to sports happen? I mean, how did the enthusiasm towards sport begin?
See, I was a sportsman from the beginning, from my village itself. I used to play kabaddi and badminton for the school. Then I played both for IIT also. And then represented India in 45 plus category in badminton. And when I, later on, I ensured that my kids also play sports.
Your daughter is a badminton player.
Yeah, she played international badminton. She was world rank 34. She's played world championship. And she was in quarters of junior world championship. And she went up to world rank 34. She has 19 international medals and 50 plus in national medals. But she got injury in 22 and ACL injury, okay, grade 3, and so she had to undergo surgery, and finally during that period she chose to appear for civil services, and now she is an IPS officer.
Looking back, do you regret that you left a rewarding, a high-paying career probably that IIT would have been, post-IIT would have been, for something that is not so glamorous, or at least wasn't so glamorous at that time?
I have no regrets at all. I'm very, very happy that I chose this career, because IPS has given me that, platform where I could help at an average around 100 people a day. Just imagine 35 years of service and helping 100 people every day. So how much satisfaction I would get. So I'm rather happy. And let me tell you, my batchmates come to me, visit me from USA also. And they say, your life is better than us, sir.
You served through some of the most important assignments. I mean, in fact, Babri Masjid was one of the important assignments you were in charge at that time. Could you take us through some of your experiences as a police officer before you actually transitioned to taking sports as a full-time career, probably?
See, police is a tough job. And I was not at the Ayodhya. I was posted at Prayagraj in those days. That was my first district, ASP Allahabad, because that time name was Allahabad. Later on, it changed to Prayagraj. And my experiences of that time are that we had to implement curfew the same day, 6th of December. And curfew was for 10 nights, 10 days, 6th to 16th. And I had never tested those limits of mine that I did not sleep for a single minute in those 10 days. So I could work for 240 hours without sleeping during those curfew days. That is my experience.
Okay.
So then policing gives you, law and order situations, Kumbh Mela, Kamad Mela. It also gave me a terrorist encounter in the Trai of UP in 94, where we had an encounter for 3 hours.
Okay.
And about 3,000 bullets were fired.
Okay.
So that kind of experiences also you get. And then later on I joined BSF and CRPF also on deputation. So I was in charge of Punjab frontier and also on the Bengal frontier. And also my battalions were posted in Naxal areas when I was in CRPF. So I had an exposure of this part of security also.
So for someone, a youngster today who wants to probably make a career in sports, looking back at your journey, what would your advice be to him or her in terms of what should they be doing? Whether they can choose sports as a career, is sports a rewarding career? Because the most important question we always end up thinking to ourselves is it going to give me a stable career? Is it going to give me a stable income? How do you address these issues? What's your advice to those youngsters who want to make a career in sports today, sir?
See, sports as a career in earlier days meant only being a successful sportsman, right? And if not, as a sports person, if your career is over, then you would try to become a sports coach, right? Maximum a PTI. But nowadays, it's not limited to that. Nowadays, we have sports universities coming up. The country already has around 14, 15 universities. So you can become sports academician. You can become sports scientist. Sports scientist means biomechanics, sports psychology, sports nutrition, sports physiotherapy, right? Sports journalism, sports management, sports administration. So many fields have come up. So you can become a sports scientist. Then also, sports economy is going to get a big boom. Probably in 2036. We have bid for the Olympics. We are bidding for the Olympics for 2036. So if we get that, I'm sure the economy will be of lakhs and lakhs of crores.
Okay. Before we
So it will open a Pandora of careers.
Right. Before we come to India's preparedness for Olympics, you are in fact heading one such university that is thriving and that is in fact creating trainers for sportsmen. What's the thought behind that? How has your experience been to helm an institute that is creating leaders of tomorrow in sports?
See, Sports University of Haryana is a new university, 3 years old. Though the sports school, at the same place, sports school Rai is 52 years old. It was the first sports school of India. So at Sports University, we are trying to prepare coaches and sports scientists, right? So that they can guide the future of Indian sports. They can prepare Olympians. That is the target.
Okay. And how far have you reached? I mean, in terms of pure, because a few days ago, just last year, in fact, you hosted a conference called 7 to 70. What were the learnings from that conference? What is the mission that you have set out for yourself as we march towards becoming an Olympic nation?
See, this conference was a brainchild of mine, you can say. Okay. That if we have had maximum 7 Olympic medals till now, that was Tokyo Olympic. So, and we are around rank 70 in the world. So why cannot we be in the top 5? We are the largest country in the world population-wise. So the below 50 rank is just unacceptable. So I thought, why can't we take the tally from 7 to 70? If we go to 70, we will be around 5. So that is the mission or target, I thought. And for the conference, we invited Neeraj Chopra as the chief guest.
Okay.
The opening, he inaugurated the conference. And then many other Olympians and sports academicians and all others, even from media people were there.
Okay.
So many things came out of it.
Okay. If I have to ask you one thing as to what are the challenges, I mean, what is it that is keeping us? We are looking today at becoming the third largest economy in the world. We are already the darling of the global community. What is that one thing, or what are those elements that are keeping us from becoming a sports superpower or a soft power in sports?
First thing I would say is, I was vice president of Badminton Association of India also. So I used to deal with SAI and all. We are focusing only on a limited number of games.
Okay.
So Olympic Games have about 1,000 medals. And our focus is only on 50 medals. If we focus on 50, we'll get 5. So we should focus on all 1,000 medals.
Okay.
We should prepare for 1,000 medals. So we will be somewhere near to 100. We are, except Neeraj Chopra, we were nowhere in, athletics, which has more than 100 medals. We are nowhere in gymnastics. We are nowhere in swimming. Why do we think we cannot get medals there? We can get medals everywhere. What SAI is doing now is focusing, keeping some priority games and pushing, pumping in money for those games only. So we have to start taking care of each and every game. Whether we are behind, in some games we are not up to the mark, not up to world level. In some games we are up to Asian level. So infrastructure, coaches, right, as well as the number of players. It will all depend on if the site gives support, if the state government start giving support, they start preparing infrastructure. I'm sure players will come. Players are coming even for non-Olympic games, we know. Many games are not even in Olympics. Still we have thousands and thousands of players.
Right. So in fact, I mean, that's where I want to ask you, when you say we, because there are two aspects here. One is the government or the infrastructure support that the players get. And the second is obviously the players who actually come. I mean, it all starts with probably a small dream that I want to represent my country at the Olympics. Where are we lacking? Is it the dream part of it, or is it the infrastructure or the administrative support part of it?
Both sides need improvement. I talked about infrastructure, I talked about coaches. I will also talk about players. Take the example of Haryana, right? We had 4 Olympic medals from Haryana out of 6 in Paris Olympics. So how is one state performing so well? So I give it to like this, that Haryana announced a policy of jobs as well as of cash awards, which were earlier of the tune of 1 or 2 crores, and it announced to 5-6 crores. So it makes a big difference. Similarly, jobs. In Haryana, getting a government job was not so easy. It requires so much of preparation, postful, sometimes they call it kharchi as well as parchi, right? So in those days, people started feeling कि खेलो medal पाओ और खट से जो है नौकरी मिल जाएगी.
Okay.
So that's a big incentive that pulled people towards sports.
Do you think other states are replicating that? Do you think the momentum is picking up with other states?
Yes, it's picking up. Many states have started following this model. Many states have started improving upon it also. I see Uttarakhand is doing well now. I see Odisha is taking up many games. Bihar has started doing something. MP has done good in hockey, I saw, but other games also they will do. South is doing well in basketball, volleyball, etc. So I'm sure the nation will rise.
Okay. So looking at the next Olympics, if we have to look at the immediate next Olympics, which are the sports you feel India has tremendous potential to win a gold?
See, again, it will come back to same old people. We should not.
Okay.
Whosoever becomes a star, everyone supports him.
Okay.
A star Olympian in India becomes a person of 50 crores, 100 crores.
Okay.
We don't need that. What we need is, we need to support a person who is about to become, who is preparing for becoming an Olympian.
Okay.
We should catch them young. We should start from the age of 10 or 12.
Okay.
Right? And then, talent identification at the age of 10, 12. Then focus on them for 10 years. Provide them all best infrastructure, best coaches, best sports scientists who take care of their nutrition in the best possible way, who take care of their, long-term athlete development programs, which focus on how much training, how much tournament, Sometimes, our players will just wear out extra load because of extra load, and then they get injured and then khatam ho jata hai sab injury ke sath. So we have to have a long-term plan, designed with international standards, give them proper exposure, best coaching. In some games we have coaches of international level. In some games we don't. So for those games we have to bring in international coaches. I'll tell you the example of badminton. We were good at singles since the days of Prakash Padukone. Prakash Padukone was world number 1. Then Gopichand won All England. Others were also good enough. Women started with Saina Nehwal. But doubles we were very poor. Since I've handled badminton as a state president and vice president of Badminton Association of India, once we started getting coaches from Indonesia and Malaysia, we became a superpower in doubles also. Chirag and Satvik are world number 1. They were world number 1 for a year, more than a year. So that makes a difference. Because if in some games we don't have that talent, we don't have that quality coaches. Let's take example of gymnastics or swimming. कोचेज में क्वालिटी नहीं है तो प्लेयर कहाँ से आएंगे? तो ऐसे गेम्स के लिए हमें बाहर से कोचेज लाने पड़ेंगे.
But is that happening? Is this ground level change happening in sports, in all the sports? You're heading a university.
वो तब हैपन होगा जो मैंने बोला ना. हमारा फोकस क्या है? लिमिटेड गेम्स पे. आप देखने ना साई के प्लान में प्रायोरिटी गेम्स हैं. अबाउट 8 to 10 गेम. उन्हीं को उन्होंने कैटेगरी बना दिया A, B, C. ए कैटेगरी को सब तरह का सपोर्ट मिलेगा. उसको इंटरनेशनल कोचेज मिलेंगे, इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर भी मिलेगा, सब कुछ होगा. पर बी को फिर मीडियम होगा, सी को बहुत कम होगा, कुछ एक को होगा ही नहीं. व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज इस बेस को हमें वाइडन करना है, जिससे हम सब गेम्स में वी कैन कम अप. बेसिकली कुल मिला के 3 ही तो चीज़ें चाहिए किसी भी बेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूट के लिए. आप IIT की बात ले लो. एक पहला है इंफ्रा, दूसरा है इनकमिंग टैलेंट यानी स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन कैसे आ रहे हैं, और तीसरा है क्वालिटी ऑफ टीचिंग यानी कोचेज एंड स्पोर्ट्स साइंटिस्ट. तो इसी पे फोकस करना है सबको मिला करके.
तो इन 3 में से हमारे पास कौन सी चीजें ऑलरेडी है इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स?
देखिए तीनों में गैप्स हैं. है तीनों, पर तीनों में गैप्स हैं. जैसे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में इवन हरियाणा में आज की डेट में गैप्स हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि वहाँ पे है नहीं. मतलब 100% सब सही होगा. तब मैं सही मानूंगा हर स्टेट में कम से कम एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल का स्टेडियम हो. हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में नेशनल लेवल के स्टेडियम्स हो, और हर ब्लॉक में मतलब गेम वाइज कहीं ना कहीं अच्छे स्टेडियम हो जो एटलीस्ट जिसमें ऑल इंडिया मैचेस हो सके. तब वो इंफ्रा बेटर होएगा. तो ये इंफ्रा की बात आई. फिर इसी तरह से कोचेज आई सेड कि कोचेज क्वालिटी, वी नीड क्वालिटी ऑफ कोचिंग. और एज आई सेड coaches of that quality which can produce Olympians. And then the third thing is the input. Input depends on the level of motivation. Now if you talk about Haryana, we have more than 1,000 nurseries, more than 1,000 academies working on their own. It's private capital, not government. Government का जो है वो है. उसके अलावा हजारों अकेडमी चल रही हैं. तो they are producing good children, good players. भी 1000 अगर अकेडमी है तो प्लेयर तो कितने हो गए? 1 लाख हो गए. तो इट मेक्स ए बिग डिफरेंस. इसका मतलब पूरा स्पोर्टिंग इकोसिस्टम बन गया है.
It's probably time to replicate it. But sir, I want to bring you to the whole dream for Olympics 2036, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Do you think India is ready to host Olympics?
Yes, we are. Why not? We've held Asian Games. We've held Commonwealth Games. We are going to organize second time. So we are ready. We cannot say that we are not ready. Though we have 2 big problems. One is the problem of doping. Second is the problem of age fraud. Even the international committee, as IOC has pointed out, these 2 things. We have to overcome these 2. Because these 2 are big blots on us. And also, they don't let genuine players come up. Anyone who is playing genuinely at the age of 16 cannot beat a person who is 19-year-old. So who is playing with 3 years age fraud. So he will never win, so he will be demotivated, he or she. So we have to, do away with age fraud. Till the time age fraud is there, the real players cannot come up. Fake people will win juniors, and the real people will never win. And so they will never come up to seniors. And those fake people who won juniors At the senior level, they will.
But why is this happening, sir? In a country like India, which is drastically changing over the past about a few decades, why are these still a problem?
They choose shortcuts.
Okay.
Coaches also choose shortcuts. Medals नहीं आ रहे हैं, बच्चे को बड़े एज का फेक सर्टिफिकेट बना के लगा दो.
Okay.
So these are shortcuts. Similarly, doping से लेकर के boxing champion बन जाओ, कुश्ती champion बन. So these are shortcuts. We have to avoid. They can give you only temporary glory.
Now, as a policeman, when you look at it, what is the solution to avoid this, to stop this?
We have to be harsh. We have to have zero tolerance.
Okay.
And federations, now the National Sports Governance Act has come. You know, it has provided many bodies. I'm hopeful that things will improve with that.
Okay.
You know, we have to have zero tolerance towards both. Anyone using age fraud should be thrown out.
Okay.
Anyone using doping, obviously already the rules are there. And we have to be strict. Maybe we have to even criminalize it. We can.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your dream when it comes to Olympic 2036 for India, one, and for us, for our players?
My dream would be, as I said, 70 medals for India. So we are in the top 5 in the world.
Okay.
And if you know, China hosted Beijing Olympics and they became world number 1.
Right.
They were below 5 and they became world number 1. So that is the willpower they showed. They prepared for 12 years
Okay.
for that. So if we are hosting 2036, we should start preparing now and be at least in top 5.
And one advice to all those who are here, probably who are listening to you speaking on our digital as well as television platforms, one advice that you would want to give for taking sports as a career?
I would say nothing like it. This is the best career possible. Have confidence. If you have confidence, you will certainly win. If you have talent, you will certainly get medals. Don't bother about jobs. In earlier days, a person becoming constable and he is happy or she and then it was over. No, don't stop there. That is just a temporary, temporary phase. We have to rise and take India to the top. And you are the people who can take India to the top. Be you are players or as a coach or as a sports scientist.
Wonderful. Mr. Kumar, thank you very much. Your journey has been a stellar one. Thank you very much for being here and inspiring all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.